Pisces, welcome or welcome back to another reading. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's an honor to have you here on this channel right now. If you're new here, this channel is all about helping to optimize every area of your life, including true love, including wealth, finances, health, and all the rest of it. But most importantly, your inner fulfillment. And if you watch this video all the way to the end, I promise you this reading is going to give you the clarity you need in your subconscious reality to make the changes and or find the clarity or confirmation you need for your highest good in love and in life at this moment in time. So without further ado, let's get right into your reading. This is a timeless reading, Pisces, so whenever you happen to watch it, it is meant for you. And it is channeled from the angels and guides and loved ones and masters and wise ones, angels and archangels through the power of unconditional love and God. And so we ask guides and angels and God through the power of unconditional love. We ask Pisces in this moment in time, what is it they need to know most for their highest and greatest good in their love and life situation for the highest and greatest good. Pisces, right now, your life is wanting to take you forward somewhere on a journey. And what I'm hearing is an internal journey. And right now, you might be facing, I'm seeing a bit of a crossroads, right? Even though the card hasn't landed yet, I'm seeing a crossroads in your soul. And you're kind of deciding, you're figuring out what way of being, what direction is best for me at this moment in time. What is optimal for me, my life, the world around me? You may be asking how to bring things into balance at this moment in time, but the main goal is your soul, I feel and see, is wanting to move you forward. You're wanting to move forward. You're wanting to find a way, the best way for you to move forward in love and in life. So you might feel a little stuck. That's what I'm getting. You might feel a little bit of a crossroads. You might feel like you need some direction. And ideally, this reading will give you that direction you're looking for. Okay. But what I want to show you is that the answers are going to lie in your belly and your soul right now. Okay. What you're looking for. And they may take a little bit of time to come out, but that's where they are, Pisces. That's where you're going to know what and who you really are and where you're meant to go and what's truly best for you. Okay. There's your subconscious, the moon card, subconscious, on how to be successful in your own self, okay, without taking into account necessarily what may be best for others at this time. And what I mean by that is we all have to balance and we all have to choose sometimes in our life, and we have to face these crossroads where we can either do what we feel is best for everyone around us or what's in their best interests solely and kind of allow our lives to take form in that way, or God forbid, we choose to do what's best for ourselves and our own emotional well-being, our own emotional subconscious, and we choose to take our God-given success, our God-given role to heart and embody and integrate that despite what it may cause for and within others. Now, what I want to say is a part of you and the world generally, right, might say that that's selfish. You might say, you can't do that. You can't take your throne, Pisces. You can't take that and rise above the others without any disregard for them. That's selfish. And what I would argue is that it's actually the opposite of selfish. Let me explain. Leaders, and you're a leader, Pisces, are here to execute their power and execute their influence for the greater good. For the greater good of society, for the greater good of mankind, for the greater good of humanity and the world. Leaders are they're chosen by God. You choose whether you want to live up to your potential, but the leadership potential within you, that's already predetermined by God. Despite what anyone says. Okay, leaders are born and they're made because they still have to choose to execute that potential, but they are born. And don't get it twisted. Not everyone is born to be a leader. That is just a cold, hard fact. Okay. Some people are born to be in service. Okay. More in service, more of a service oriented person towards leaders, or more in the background. And that's the way that they lead. But there are certain people who are leaders. Okay. You are one of those leaders, Pisces. And if you go back and watch any of the readings for you that we've done, timeless or not, it's talking about this very same thing. It's been very consistent for your sign, at least watching on my channel. And you were chosen here to be here by God, by the way. And it is selfish of you, to the contrary of what others may say or think generally, to not take your throne and your God-given potential and execute it to its fullest, regardless of how others may feel. Why? Because you will never get a chance to then impact those very same souls in the world if you do not take on your own power and your own success. You see? By rejecting your God-given potential and success, you are also rejecting the opportunity to help serve the entire world. Because in order to serve the entire world, we also need to be fully empowered. Now, I want you to apply that to however that applies to you now. Is that wealth? Is that health? Is that your self-love? Okay. Right now is a time for you to reject temporarily the need of others, so you can take what is rightfully yours, rise up, and embody your God-given success through the areas of health, wealth, and self-love. Love generally, but self-love. Self-admiration. And you're going to do it, if you're going to do it, and when you're going to do it, it's going to be in the name of, overall, being able to eventually serve others even more effectively than you could if you were to not take on your God-given potential. It's so interesting. You and Aquarius, best buddies. The sign Aquarius. They had a very similar reading. It's eerily similar up to this point. I'm sure it's going to be different. But their reading was also in and about rejecting the advice of others, because the advice of others right now, Pisces, from what I'm seeing and with your role, it's going to lead you down illusion. Whether it's in love, about your love situation, about your career, your business, starting a business for many of you, following your passion, going after a relationship or a person, whatever it is, however it applies to you, listening to the advice of others will actually lead you down illusion, towards illusion. You see, the cards are literally, I mean, directly, specifically, even if you don't know or read tarot, they're literally, you can see, I'm refusing the cup of advice, right? You can see Three of Pentacles. I'm offering advice, rejecting the advice of others so as to not be caught in the illusion. Seven of Cups is kind of a dream world, an elusive world. You might say, well, isn't it smart to follow the advice of others? Shouldn't I have others advising me at all times? No, not in this situation, not for your path. Okay. Your path is so unique, Pisces. Your leadership is so unique. Your business is so unique. Your relationship is so unique. Whatever it is in your life is so unique, what I'm feeling and hearing, that no one else will know how to guide you down that path but you. Okay. So your task and your duty is to say no to any other advice outside of your own, or the advice for you that feels right to you, that serves you, that allows you to rise higher in your emotional, subconscious confidence, wealth, health, and self-mastery and self-love, and continue down your path. That and that alone will clear out any internal obstacles you might be facing right now, or crossroads that are here for you. And if you don't, unfortunately, if life has seemed a little crazy for you, if life has seemed a little bit like all up over the place, right? All up in the air, and you haven't been sure where to go, who to turn to, what's real, what's not, it's because of simply the voices. The voices in your head. No, that would be for me. The You're following a certified crazy person. I'm kidding. The voices in the room, okay, around you, the advice that's being given to you is what I'm seeing. Okay, 6 of Pentacles here, 9 of Pentacles, and 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Now, the irony here about this entire reading, and you may be here curious about love, or just wanting to hear the highest possible messages, or you were just pulled here by God. Those are all possibilities. The irony here is if you are involved in love, or you're connecting with love, or you're wanting to know about love, whether you're connected with someone or not, this is all in for the sake of a relationship. It's actually for the sake of another person, one person. Okay, this is actually the most, literally, ironically, the most important part of this entire reading. Despite the fact that you're meant to reject the advice of others and the needs of others right now temporarily, we just passed 11:11, by the way. All of it is for the sake of both the world as well as the other person that you are meant to be with via God, via the God-like soul connection that you share with one other person in this world. If you're watching this reading, you are likely aware of, or a part of, at the very least, a twin soul connection, what I call the twin soul connection. We'll leave it at God's person for you. That's you're connected to inside and out, whether they're with you or not physically, inside and out. 9 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. So, having to pursue, God has put you in a situation where you're having to pursue your individuality, individual success, individual prosperity, individual ability to provide emotionally and or financially or physically in every other way so that you can truly thrive in your God-given relationship. What I heard originally was you ignoring the advice of other people when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your business is the only way that you will find your way into your God-given relationship at this time. You understand? Saying no to the general advice, general energy, and general outside status quo energy will lead you to your eternal yes. Okay. Very, very important message for this reading and for you watching Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Okay. Even though a part of you may fear, like the reason that this is coming up is a part of you might fear that if you were to reject, as we mentioned, the advice of others, that would lead to your failure, your imminent failure, and or your death in this lifetime. I.e., it might be trained deep in your soul subconsciously that unless you are following the advice of others or have other people advising you or just generally following the herd, you know, that would be a death sentence, or you would be following or doing something that would lead you to exile. I must admit, as a true love and life tarot reader, I can absolutely relate to you, Pisces. This is one of the scariest things I've ever had to do in my life was abandon a full-time, seemingly prosperous independent contracting business. I was a health and wellness corporate advisor of sorts in a past part of this life. And I decided to go full-time into tarot reading. It's my full-time business. One of the scariest things I've ever done, but also one of the most rewarding and craziest of journeys. But if I would have asked my family, my friends, and people that I generally looked up to or listened to before that point, every single one of them likely would have told me that I'm crazy and not to do what I'm doing now. And for me, not listening and keeping this to myself, for myself, has been the best decision that I've ever made in my entire life. And right now, that same advice, yes, it's being channeled through me, but it's also, I agree, my human advice is for you to do the same thing because it will lead you to the greatest possible outcome in love and in life that you'll ever have. Now, when doing this or when being this, there's one energy that I see that might get in your way when stepping into your God given potential or your next way of business or your next way of leadership or wherever you're going. And that's the feeling of being a fraud. I like to call it fraudership instead of leadership, fraudership, meaning a subconscious part of you might say, there is no way in heck, there's no way in hell that God has entrusted me with this level of leadership for the world. For me to truly, uniquely lead and change the world in the ways I'm meant to do it. There's no way God has actually entrusted me. There's no way I can be that leader that I feel deep, deep, deep inside in order to impact the lives of millions of people directly, not indirectly, directly. If you're facing this, what I can tell you, both from a channel perspective and from a human perspective, and maybe, right? I'm sure there's a chance if you're watching this, you might be into or be a spiritual practitioner, right? Maybe you're a channeler, astrologer, tarot reader, a healer, something of the sorts. If that's the case, you might feel like there's no way I can use these powers or have these powers or the powers are legitimate or that my knowledge or my abilities are enough to be able to actually impact and change people's lives. Trust me, they are. If it's anything I can tell you, even if it's not, we're not talking about you're being a spiritual practitioner, but just generally speaking, your talent and your potential, you already have it inside. That's what I'm getting. It's more of a innate wisdom, okay, that you have to help people. For some of you, it's helping to mentor people, helping to guide people, helping to straighten people out, lead people. Okay, take it as it resonates in your given field or industry or your dream or ideal business. Maybe it's a mentoring or coaching business. Okay, you have it already inside of you. You just have to let it activate and flow out. You know, when I first started helping people, this reading's not about me, but it's helpful, I think, to bring some humanity into it, right? Let me know if it's not in the comments. You're free to disagree. When I first started helping people, I had no real idea. I had practiced this on friends and just a few friends, to be honest. I didn't really want to share with anyone else. A few friends. I had done astrology mostly and a little bit of tarot and a little bit of healing, but nothing really on a professional level, right? It was mostly off the side or for a very low amount of money. And I honestly had no idea that what I was saying and what I was doing was even going to have any relevance until I started putting it out and doing it and offering my services and having my first few sessions with clients. It was only after that, a large number of times, okay, over time, that I was able to fully embody and integrate the fact that I this is who I am. This is what I can do. Like I can do it to a very great extent. But it took a long time, which is why temperance is here for you. Because the guy the, the guides and angels and God want you to know it's gonna take time. Okay. This everything we're talking about, right? It takes a long time. But if you're watching this, it is time to start to get yourself out there. Okay, and whatever way that means for you, the abilities are already there. They're innately there. It's just you allowing them to come out. Okay, trusting in yourself enough, trusting in your own path, trusting in your own leadership, letting go, rejecting the advice or the guidance of others. Or even I'm hearing the precedent of others. Some of you need to let go of the precedent of others. Okay, and where you go and who you are in order to become your own wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups with the Strength card. Okay. Right now, Pisces, it is truly when I say, I mean, you are one of the most talented signs in the zodiac. I have my ruling planet. So the ruling planet of my rising sign is in Pisces, Venus in Pisces. So I'm very Piscean, my whole beingness. So you might be resonating with that. But you are one of the most talented and intuitively gifted signs in the entire zodiac. It's not whether or not you have the powers, the ability to help people. It's whether or not you believe, strength card with the 9 of Cups, that you are you are worthy of and capable of and quite skilled at being able to help others personally. Like I'm getting a very like you're here to help individuals. Okay, I don't know what you are, what you're doing. That's for you to figure out, but you're here to help one-on-one individuals, okay, to sort their shit out in a very talented way. Okay, that's what I see your strength is for some reason. Okay, like you have a talent at that specifically. Maybe that's not your entire thing, or that's not what you want to do exclusively, but you do have a very strong talent when it comes to helping individuals. Okay, one on one. You just know them. You get them intuitively. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. Okay. There might be another fear as well that if you go all into something, 10 of Wands here with the 4 of Pentacles, that you're going to, I'm just hearing, lose everything you've ever worked for. Okay, it might be a fear. Like if you, Knight of Cups here, pursue your true path or the path that really is resonant with your heart, that you're going to lose, you're going to either miss out or lose something that you've worked really hard to attain. It's almost like this might be potentially like maybe you're leaving an old career behind, or you feel like you're leaving money on the table if you walk away from a certain other business or something like that. Or you've worked a long time, right? Maybe you've worked 10, 20, 30 years at something else, and you're like, your heart's not in that anymore and you want to pursue something different, and you have a fear to walk away from that because you've put so much work into it, right? 10 of Wands with the 4 of Pentacles, you're kind of holding on to the fact that you've put in all this effort, 10 of Wands, and you don't want to walk away because what was the point of putting all that work in? Let me tell you something, this as well. I don't know why. I don't usually give this personal advice much but in my readings, but it's being called in this reading. Maybe that's where I'm growing. Look, life is fucking crazy. Trust me. And I'm going through all of this just as much as you guys are. Pisces is strong energy for me, but things change out of nowhere. Like you can't, none of us, you can't, we can't, I can't, no one can control what they feel in resonant for and with and towards ever. Like you could be totally, completely fine and satisfied and enjoying and fulfilled at your work or a relationship or this or that in for 1 minute. And then the next minute, like that shit just completely changes. And all of the joy and fulfillment and satisfaction and love you had for something just kind of fades away, or it's no longer resonant with you, right? And those are the scariest points because they require change. They require honesty with ourselves to ask ourselves, all right, this thing is not in resonance with me anymore. What is? What truly is? And that's a very scary question to ask because, once you ask that question, there's no going back. And sometimes the answer to that question is just as scary as asking the question itself. Asking our hearts, because the answer may be something completely different or scary that part of us doesn't want to do because it's like we have a fear of going in that completely different direction, right? Nonetheless, if you're going to be true to yourself, if you're going to be happy, if you're going to be able to activate your God-given potential, Pisces, it's up to you to be honest with yourself about what it is and who it is and what you are truly desiring to pursue in your life. And I mean that in every possible way, in love and in life. Okay. In this context, we're definitely talking about business, career, purpose, but take it as it resonates. Some of you, maybe it's love. We have to ask ourselves that question, and we have to be honest. And if we're not, the life slowly leaves us. The whole irony of this whole thing is our fear is that if we do something that's outside of the status quo, that's not advisable from other people, generally speaking, or outside of the realms of what society would say, we have a fear that we're going to die. But the irony in that is that actually, the more we do what we're supposed to do, the more we follow our own path and say no to the advice of others that's not in resonance with us, the more we become alive. And the more we actually slowly die off when we do only what other people are recommending to us, or what's safe, or what's standard. The more we actually slowly die off. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a quick but exciting death than a slow 40 or 50 year torturous, lifeless death. That's just me. But that's a decision that you might be being called to make at this moment in time. And we all have to make that. Okay, myself included. That's the question that might be being posed to you. Get some clarification. Let's go ahead and clarify the Ten of Pentacles. God, angels, loved ones, masters, and wise ones. Through unconditional love. Justice with the Three of Wands. Queen of Wands. So your mastery right now lies in the boldness. Been speaking about the boldness, the self-confidence, the self-dictated path and choosing of that path, Pisces. Queen of Wands, Three of Wands. This is your karmic lesson. Justice here is to say, my current karmic lesson, in order to be in love, in order to unite with the one I love the most, in order to be with my God-given person and reach my God-given potential, is to boldly choose and walk forward towards my path, towards my beingness, without giving a fuck what other people think or say about me or say about my path. Because I am my own person, I am my own path, I am my own potential, and I own it and I believe in it like no other. That is true leadership, by the way. That's the beginning of true leadership. That's how true leaders are formed. That's exactly what God is taking you through right now. Can you choose for your own self, Pisces? Not rely on the advice or judgment or status quo of others. Can you be your own reference? Can you be your own influence? Can you be your own choices? You do that for long enough, you will get people to follow you so you can lead them their way home, just as you're being led home right now. Final advice for Pisces, this moment in time, here and now, through the power of unconditional love. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups. God wants to provide for you the greatest possible love and life relationship that is known to mankind. One that has true love, one that has fulfillment, one that has stability, and one that has everlasting, never depleting love within it. Between you and your person. Your person is wanting to receive that as well. But the only way that this can be provided for you, for your person, and for this relationship, generally speaking, is if you do the work we just mentioned and talked about. If you can make those choices to truly embody and step into your leadership for this lifetime and for the world generally. And it's not so much about you having to make tangible progress there, although that will come regardless. It's about the embodiment of this energy we spoke about for you, Pisces. It's about the embodiment of owning every aspect of who you are, creating independence in your choices, in your decisions, in your direction, and owning those choices. And as you own those choices, you own those parts of yourself. As you own those parts of yourself, you come more into union with yourself. And as you come more into union with yourself, you come more into union with your person. And that, Pisces, is the way to an everlasting and ever sustainable, permanent, true love union with the correct person that God wants for you in this lifetime. And that is what you have if you want it. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. Final advice for this viewer, and there's one viewer that's going to watch this, for this viewership and this reading for the viewer. World card with the Hangman, 9 of Wands. It's time to end the fear, Pisces. It's time to end the hesitancy. It's time to say, no, I have had enough. Let us end this cycle of waiting to see what's best for me, of waiting to have my advice or intuition confirmed by others, to fear me stepping out into the limelight or stepping away from the status quo. Fuck that. Pisces, you are your own leader. You are your own person. Go your own way. Be your own boss. Do what you need to do here and let the rest go. I promise you, with love and light, if you do that, it will serve you, it will serve God, it will serve your person, it will serve the world for the best. That's what I and the world, your person, everyone is waiting for from you. So go be everything you're meant to be. Go be who you're meant to be. The world needs you. Now and forever, more than ever. Pisces, you're a gift. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you want to go deeper, there will be an extended reading. The extended reading will be about your person. So if you're connecting with a person and you want clarity specifically on where your person's at, how they see you, how they're feeling about you, and their intentions towards you in this moment in time, and any other words from God about your current situation, what you and or your person need to do in order to come together into union and to reach your highest life and relationship goal, that will be in the extended reading. You can check that out in the featured products below this video, in the description box, or the video itself. Other than that, I hope this video changes your life, Pisces. Know that everything is said with love and light and appreciation for you. If you enjoy this type of content, not everyone will, but if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to leave your experience of this reading in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Those of you guys who are called to it, I'll see you in the extended. For the rest of you, I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.